Hi, Humblebees! It's me, Lauren, back again for another mega list. So welcome back to the Tulips and Honey mega list for April 17th, 2020. I cannot believe that it is already the 17th, but it is in fact the 17th. So hopefully the notifications have gone out and you guys are getting to see whatever it is that you're seeing. Let me know. Hopefully the sound quality is okay. Just going to make sure that I'm paying attention to the comments below so that we can make sure that there's no problems with the sound quality. Not that I ever have any problems with sound, right? So either way, while we're waiting on people to go ahead and click in, if you want to let me know where you are watching from in the comments below. Oh, I'm so glad. Patrick says he can hear me. That's good. Audio is working. That's always a good sign. I'm glad to hear that. I can see your comments coming in on the screen right here. I don't know if you guys can see that screen. It's actually that direction. But this cool little screen here, while it looks really, really cool for you guys, is too small for me to actually see. So thankfully I'm able to see it in a different area. But if I miss any of your comments or any of your questions, I'm so sorry about that. I'm going to try to keep flipping back and forth and keeping my eye out on what you guys are saying. So hopefully I can do that in a more efficient way this time. But if I do miss it, I am very, very sorry. Right now I'm actually looking at the YouTube app for the questions. So if you're watching me on YouTube, I will see your questions right away. And then I'm gonna skip back and forth through on my phone before I check out of this to make sure that I am definitely catching everybody's questions or anything to that nature. So before we get any further into what we're talking about, let me just see if I can expand the screen without affecting anything. That actually might work a little bit better. Then I can see your comments. Yay, it did work and it didn't affect the screen. I can now see everybody's comments. Very, very excited. Okay. I'm sorry, Patrick. You are having to watch this at 1 times the speed. And I know how difficult that is because whenever I watch things live, my first thought is, oh no, it's so slow. Why didn't I think of that? But I didn't. But anyways, to get started, just so you guys understand what the mega list is, if you've never watched a mega list before, this is something that we do. I originally started this out on the blog. Each Friday I would sort of list recommendations, reviews of movies or books, suggestions that I had for folks for that weekend. And eventually it became something that we were doing live on just YouTube. But now I am live on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. So that's kind of neat to have it all switched up like that, have everybody get to see it at the same time. I have a few announcements for this mega list that I'm really excited about. The first thing I want to tell you guys is that I'm on TikTok now. Oh my goodness. I don't know how to use TikTok, so I'm not like on TikTok in a way that would be helpful, but I am actually on TikTok, like I signed up for it, and mostly I did it because my husband told me there were some really funny animal videos on there, and if you guys know me, when I'm having a rough day, that's like my go-to. If I'm having a bad day, I watch funny animal videos and everything is okay. But I was shocked to see that there are legitimately like R.C. Sproul sermons, there's Paul Washer stuff, there's Steve Lawson, Jeff Durbin, John MacArthur. Their stuff is all on TikTok, and I was so excited by that. I was just absolutely thrilled to see that there's even a Reformed community over there on TikTok. So if you guys aren't on TikTok yet, because there's so much really just terrible, horrible stuff on there, I don't blame you, but there is actually some good stuff. So I was excited to see that there was some positive stuff happening on that too. Same thing for Reddit. Whenever I first got on Reddit, I expected it to sort of be as bad as everybody says it is. But there's a like 30,000 member group of Reformed people on Reddit too. So anytime you guys want to find me on these different random little sites, I'm going to be on there now. I'm on Pinterest too if you want to find me on Pinterest. So anyways, that's it for that announcement. Now that we have quite a few people on here, I want to do the big announcement. Now, at the end of this, there is going to be a sneak peek into next week's episode. So make sure you stick around even after you hear whatever information you were hoping to get to hear. Stick around for the end. The ending is going to have a short clip of Michael Coughlin explaining the abolition movement, and hopefully that will be a blessing. The whole episode will be out on Monday. But our big announcement for this mega list is actually going to be a women's conference, and I'm so excited. I'm not putting on the conference. Brooke Bartz is. If you guys remember, we had Brooke Bartz on. I have her book right here in case you guys wanted to see it. It is... Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. Chronic Love, Trusting God While Suffering with a Chronic Illness. Brooke Bartz there she is. She is putting on a women's conference that's going to have a theme of servitude. And so this is going to happen in July. She's still, gathering different speakers so far. There's Michelle Leslie and Susan Heck, and there's going to be some break-off sessions where you're going to be able to learn a lot of great, wonderful things. And whenever there's more information for that, and there's a fuller list or a list that I can just show you guys, I'll make sure to post about that and keep you guys updated as things are progressing with that. I'm really excited. If you guys could be praying for Brooke, maybe you guys remember from the episode where we interviewed her. Brooke she has rheumatoid arthritis, and so she's actually been in quite a bit of pain recently, and so she's wanting to do this, and she's got such a heart to serve God, but she is struggling through a lot of health issues. And so right now with the pandemic, she can't go anywhere or do anything because she's already got an immune system that can't handle anything else. So please be praying for her as she puts this together, and all of the wonderful people that are volunteering to join with her. She's got just such a heart for women of Christ, and I'm really, really thankful for her. I'm looking forward to all of those different speakers. So moving on to give you guys an update about what's happening this week on Tulips and Honey, the channel. This week we had a post on Saturday from Always Only, and that was from Emma. She's continuing her lessons that she's been doing. They're very God-glorifying lessons. They honor God. They're all about making sure that we know how to give God glory and how to honor Him. She had a bonus episode that I talked about last week. This Saturday, real quick. Sorry. Okay. So, yes, parental guidance. Absolutely. Whenever it comes to TikTok, you are not kidding. I seriously could not even let Kaylee sit and look for a second at that screen, even whenever I was looking for positive things. But, where will the conference be? Oh, good question, Connie. I totally forgot to mention that. This is going to be an online conference. And so all of these things are going to be on IGTV. And so everything's going to be pre-recorded and then posted there on IGTV. And hopefully there'll be like a time in the morning and then maybe a time in the afternoon. But as more information about that is decided, I'll make sure to let you guys know. I just wanted to let you know because I, first of all, have no patience. I couldn't wait. I was too excited. And also just to let everybody else get excited about it too. So we can really get the word out and let people know that this is coming, because all of our conferences have been canceled. This is summertime. This is the time for conferences, and they're all canceled. So hopefully this will be a blessing for all of you ladies that are home and really, really struggling. I don't know about you guys, but this week has been the first week where I really felt it. I really felt that strain of, I need to live a normal life again. I need to be able to do things normally and not have to worry about all these things. But it's not going to stop anytime soon. So let's be praying for one another, and hopefully these wonderful women who are putting this conference together will be a blessing to you guys as well. So yes, Monday for Tulips and Honey was Guys with Bibles, and we had an absolute blast. And then Tuesday was the Aquila and Priscilla Hour, and they did a really great interview that you can check out on our channel. And then on Friday, which is today, the Check and Low Show actually released their interview with Samuel Say, and it was such a blessing to get to hear him talk about what he's doing to help educate people about abortion and help put a stop to that, which is really, really great, because Monday's episode is also about abortion. So I'm excited to see. We didn't plan that. We don't I don't contact any of the podcasters and tell them okay, this is what we're going to talk about or anything. So it was kind of neat to see that we both were on the same page with episodes here recently. And then tomorrow, Emily will have another episode of Always Only. So make sure that you check that out. She's also got her own YouTube channel, as well as Redeemed Mama. Let me make sure I say this. I actually wrote it down. Redeemed Mama Saved by Grace. That's Lowe's blog. So Emma has a blog. Emily Avey from the Aquila and Priscilla Hour, she has a blog. And then of course I have a blog. So we've all got blogs if you guys want to learn more about us or get in contact with us, or maybe just reach out to these wonderful women. Their blogs are such a blessing. Lowe's most recent post was actually about parenting during the COVID-19. And so that was really helpful. It's absolutely a blessing. And in that line of discussion, before I move on to the next thing that I was going to talk about, Emma actually sent me information, and whenever I get done going live, I'll make sure that over on my YouTube page, all these links are included in the comment or in the descriptions below. But I have to wait until after it finishes processing, and then I can put all those in. But so Christ is the Cure podcast is doing he's needing people to come in, women. He particularly wants women to come in and write some articles for him. So if you are a blogger and you'd like to write something for Christ is the Cure, thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. Someone said love the background. For some reason, it won't tell me who the names are of all the Facebook users. Sometimes it just says Facebook users. It's kind of weird, but thank you. I appreciate that. So if you are a blogger and you're a woman and you want to get some exposure, you want to be a blessing, Christ is the Cure, he is actually asking people to come over and write some articles for him. And he's got a video on Instagram explaining exactly why it is. So you can check that out. And I'll make sure to link to it below. And thank you, Emma, for that recommendation. So continuing, just to let you guys know with an update of what's happening on Tulips and Honey. Oh, it's Dwayne that said that. Hi, Dwayne. Oh, I'm so glad that you like my background. Wow, I'm kind of like a lot closer than I am for regular podcasts because I got to be able to like click buttons on the screen. I'm gonna order a Bluetooth mouse or something because I can't reach all the way over where I put my computer for regular interviews and whatnot, but I have, some stuff in the background you can't see because I'm having to be a little bit closer, but hopefully we can get that fixed. But thank you. I appreciate that. So, yesterday I actually got to do an interview with Doreen. So for once, instead of me interviewing, I was on Doreen Virtue's program. So she invited me on to interview with her. We got to talk about my childhood and how God led me to salvation. And it was such a tremendous blessing to me to be able to talk with her. But I have to tell you guys, I constantly underestimate how nervous I am going to be whenever I'm being interviewed. Interviewing people is easy, but being interviewed I was so much more nervous doing that. But it was really a wonderful blessing just to be able to chat with her and be able to share my testimony and share the gospel. And we talked about different things that happened in my childhood and things like that. And that's going to be coming out soon. And hopefully, Lord willing, there'll be some other projects that she and I are going to be doing together on her channel. So oh, that's great. Dwayne said he's going to be talking with Doreen today. Are you interviewing her, brother? Because I cannot wait to hear that. The master of all interviewers. Oh, he always does a great job. I cannot wait for that if that's what's happening. So, okay, next on my little list here of things I'm supposed to talk about. Oh, Peggy has a suggestion. Peggy from our Facebook group. If you guys aren't in our Facebook group, I would definitely recommend it. Head over to our Facebook group and join up. We not only do we do cool giveaways and we have a lot of fun over there, but there's people there that are very well educated and you can ask questions and they'll help you find things. And my goodness, they're all such a blessing to me. So Peggy over there has a suggestion for you guys for Justin Peters' videos. And he has his own channel on YouTube. Sorry, I was reading the comments and getting distracted. He has his own channel over on YouTube, and I have to tell you, his most recent video that he did, where he's talking about the different prosperity gospelers and the things that they said wrong, wow, it was so impressive. Like, he had so many new edits in there, things that he doesn't usually do. He was very, very funny. I personally love the parts where, like, somebody, a prophet or Kenneth Copeland or whatever, would say something ridiculous, and he would just flash back to himself going, I loved that. I just thought that was so funny. So he's so humorous, and it really comes out in his newest video. He really edited a lot of funny stuff in there. So yes, Peggy, great suggestion. I definitely love that. His videos have been a real blessing to all of us. So moving on to Modern or Not. This is the new game that we've been playing, in case you guys were wondering. We do have a new game. Of course, before there was Name That Heretic, Name That Heresy, Name That Theologian. The new game right now is Modern or Not Modern, where I read to you guys something, or not read to you, I show you an idea, a theological idea, and you have to tell me whether or not this idea is modern or not modern. And so modern would be anything from the 1500s or above, and then not modern, which is going to be the majority of stuff, because most stuff has been around for a long time, right? So like, if you're not sure, guess not modern, because it's very difficult to find anything that's not from like the beginning of the church and whatnot. So I'm going to pull up this picture for you really, really quickly. This is the Not that one. That's the new one. This one here, which doesn't want to show for some reason, is... Okay, well, it's not going to show. That's okay. This is the new one. The old one was actually... Jesus is both fully God and fully man. That, as most people said correctly, is something that is not modern. That is something that has been a belief for a very, very long time. And there was actually a huge issue around Arius, who famously said there was a time when Christ was not. Arianism was from the 4th century. So this is the idea that Jesus was not fully God and not fully man is something that's been argued since all the way back then, and of course it keeps popping its ugly head up, but it started with Arius. Now we know, of course, it's been proven scripturally and time again, this is something that gets brought right back up. Yes, Jesus is fully God, fully man. That is not modern, so I don't think anybody got that one wrong. I am super impressed. I thought that at least a couple of people would be unsure, but no, we had, probably over 100 people guessing. Every single person guessed right. So this is the new one. This is the one for today. You can't guess in the comments below, so even if you do, it's not going to count. So make sure that you head over to either my Tulips and Honey Hub page on Facebook, my Tulips and Honey Hub, Tulips and Honey Podcast, Instagram, or the group Tulips and Honey Hub in the group of Facebook, and guess there. Is this idea, modern or not, the Old Testament God is the same God as the New Testament God? There are, unfortunately, people who disagree with this statement. So let me know in those different areas. And yes, you can guess on all 3 of those areas. You don't have to just stick to one of those. If you want to be entered into this contest 3 different times, you can do that by guessing in the group on my actual Facebook page and then over on the Instagram page. That totally counts. So definitely do that if you have time to do it and you want to. Also, you're going to get extra entries if you tag people in it that are interested in theology. We're going to make sure that as we go along, we're discussing these theological ideas and a little bit of the historicity behind it. So hopefully this is not just fun, but also educational for you guys. And of course, there's going to be the big giveaway where somebody's going to win a gift card and a t-shirt and probably still going to be either a Kindle book or an audio book, because right now, sending books is a little bit more difficult. I haven't even reached out to our partners at P&R Publishing because I just don't know if I want to bring books into the house where my husband is working with, directly with COVID patients and then send them out to you guys. So probably the book will be something that is going to be electronic. However, that does bring me to the next point that I wanted to make. Guys, the upcoming book giveaway, it's going to be an audio book, once a month in the hub, in our group over on Facebook. I do an audiobook giveaway. So it comes from audio at audiobook.com, right? I don't know why that name completely slipped my brain as I was talking, but it did. So I always give away one book, but I want to know from you guys, what book are you interested in winning? If we did something within the next couple of days, what author are you interested in? Is there a particular book that's just too pricey, it's too out of your price range, but you'd love to have it? Let me know in the comments below, and I will make a list and maybe even do a special thing where you get to pick whenever you win which one you want. So let me know in the comments below if there are any books that you would like to see being given away over in our Facebook group. Make sure that you're part of our group so that you are going to be able to possibly win those books. We do give an audio book away each and every month, and that's something we can do no matter what happens with pandemics. So that's kind of nice. Okay, next we have shout outs. There's several shout outs that I want to do today. So the first shout out is for my new patron, D. He's our new Patreon over on our Tulips and Honey Patreon page, and he waived his right to have his shout out because he had a friend, Emily Urban, who he said is struggling, and he would love for us to give her a shout out. Her website is Haven Ministry. There's going to be a link to that. Whenever I'm done, there'll be a link over on our YouTube page. And so that was his shout out for his Patreon. Thank you, Dee, for joining with us. I'm so humbled by your support. I just want to point out to everybody, even though he didn't ask me to, that Dee does actually have a YouTube page and a blog. So I'm going to make sure that I link to those below. Dee has been an absolute blessing. He's been following us for a long time, and I'm so thankful that he has joined us with that. What a blessing. Absolutely love it. Let's see, next shout out is to Steady Anchor. Steady Anchor is a podcast, and they have joined our hub, and so their most recent episode is about judging, like Judge Not, I think is the actual title of it. Wow, really, really great, really informative, very helpful for anybody that is confused about whether or not we're supposed to be judging, or if you have heard people say, as many of us have, anytime you call out a false teacher, you're going to hear somebody say, oh, judge not. So as Paul Washer would say, twist not scripture, lest ye be like Satan. So definitely appreciate that from Luke. He sent us the link to get, and so I asked for these shout outs just so you guys know. And if you have a blog or a podcast that you want to mention in the comments below, so anybody that's listening or watching can see that, please do that. We love to give shout outs, and we love to link arms with other podcasts and other blogs. And the point behind that is that there is a lot of false teachers out there. There is a lot of bad blogs, a lot of bad podcasts, and so we want people to see great podcasts. Like, most podcasts only release one episode a week, which means you've got 6 other days of the week that you need to add new podcasts to. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I listen to 10 different podcasts each day, and I read through dozens of blogs each day. I love that. That's one of my favorite things, and thanks to Patrick for teaching me how to watch at 2 times, 3 times the speed. I am now able to get through a lot more. And so if you guys have a podcast, if you have a blog, even if you've shared it before, share a link in the comments below anyways. We'll make sure that people can find you so that they can see good quality stuff. So the next thing on the list here is Emily's suggestions. So if you guys don't know, Emily Avey, she is the co-host of the Aquila and Priscilla Hour, which I just love that name. I love that name so much. So Emily's suggestion for everybody this weekend is to pray for your elderly. And I'm thankful for this idea that she's brought this back to our mind, that we do need to be praying for the elderly people. Reach out to them if you know anybody that is in need, or maybe you could just be a blessing to them by even sending them food. You don't have to leave, right? You can actually order food now in most cities, and it'll be delivered. And so if your local grocery store, I figured this out just a little while ago, if your local grocery store's delivery system is backed up, there are actually people that their whole business is shopping for you, and it's not very expensive. In fact, for me here in my city, it was cheaper than having the local grocery store delivered to me. So that's an option too. If you have any elderly people that you know they shouldn't be going to grocery stores, reach out to them. Make sure that when you do reach out to them, if you have to talk to them face to face, that you're wearing a mask if you have one. And so, yeah, definitely be praying for your elderly. Reach out to them if you have that ability. So we do have one question from a listener, and I have a question for all of you guys listening. And then after that, I will play you guys. Oh, wait, no, not after that. After that, I have one cool thing to show you guys, and then I'm going to play you the sneak peek for next week's episode. So the question is, and I want to hear y'all's answers down below as well as I read this. This comes from Patrick from Cave to the Cross Apologetics. That is a really, really great podcast, if you didn't know. And if you followed me long enough, you already do know, because I love to give a shout out to that one. That's one of my favorite podcasts. So his question is, has the local level abortion movement, which viewed incremental changes, helped or hurt the movement, especially when it comes to abolition from the not law Roe versus Wade? I think that the idea of incremental laws, whenever it comes to abortion, are actually going to end up being a bigger problem than we anticipated. If it comes to the point where we're able to return, your state might still have laws in place that say that abortions can be done past heartbeats. So what that means is, even without Roe versus Wade, the pro-life people, not meaning to, have actually put into place laws that protect abortion if Roe versus Wade is overturned. So then we would have to overturn all of those laws, those incremental laws, in each and every state. And that's going to be a bigger problem than anything else. We'll have to deal with all of those things. So while I think that they had good motives and they had a good heart in what they were doing, these things actually are not helpful. And the best thing that we could do would be an abolition law that just completely and totally removes all of this. The fact that there are babies right now that are being pulled apart limb by limb while they are still alive in their mother's womb is just, it's so gruesomely horrific that I can't even hardly wrap my mind around the fact that this is something that's happening. So incremental laws to stop murder, it really basically is saying murder is okay as long as you're doing this or that. And so that's something that we really focused on in the upcoming episode. Hopefully, and Michael Coughlin did a way better job explaining all these things than I could possibly do. So hopefully that'll be a blessing for you guys on Monday. And so my question for you guys before I tell, well, let me see how I want to do this. Let me tell you guys about the new shirts, and then I'll ask you my fun question because I want to hear about that in the comments below. And then I'm just going to go right ahead and play that sneak peek for next week. So what I want to show you guys is the brand new shirts. You guys may have noticed there's a new logo on Tulips and Honey. We have a new expression, and that's graciously reformed. So I'm going to show you our new shirts. There's 2 of them. And let's see here. There's nothing in there to show you. I'm not going to show you the new shirts because I forgot to put anything in there to show you. Oopsie. Never mind. I'm so sorry. We do have new shirts though, but they're not in there. Maybe I could grab them really, really quickly if you guys don't mind. I'm sorry. I know you're seeing like just a black screen right now, but there are a couple of shirts in here for me to show you. And these are the new shirts that if you have bought a Tulips and Honey shirt in the past, and you now need one with a new logo, please let me know so that I can make sure that you get a discount on your shirts if you want to purchase a brand new shirt with a new logo on it. So this is our new logo. The shirts are available in our store, and I will make sure that there is a link to that below. And hopefully it will play the next one. And you can see our graciously reformed is everybody is having difficult times right now. So just a reminder that we are all struggling through a lot of issues right now. People are losing their jobs. People are having to work less. People are having to wonder where their next meals are going to come for people that have never had to deal with that before. So let's make sure that we are being gracious, being kind. If you're reformed and you know that you are saved by grace alone, through faith alone, that there's nothing that you've done, that God has fully forgiven your sins. He's cast them all on, poured out the wrath that you and I deserved on his own son, his only begotten son. That should make us very gracious, very kind, very loving. So hopefully this is something that will encourage that. I just want to make sure that these shirts are something that are encouraging to people to be kind and to be loving. So yeah, if you have an old shirt with the old Tulips and Honey logo, just let me know, send me a message, and I'll make sure that you get a discount code for a new one if you're interested in that. The last question that I have for you guys, and I can't really wait to hear this, there's a wonderful sister over on Instagram who has done videos showing her trying roasted grasshoppers for the first time. She said they actually taste like sunflower seeds. So I wanted to know, would that be something that you guys would try? Would you try roasted grasshoppers? It's apparently really good for you. It's supposed to be very healthy, lots of protein. I don't know if I'll ever be trying it, but it looked like she made it sound so good that I almost wanted to try it. And then I remembered it was bugs and I can't do that. So let me know in the comments below if you agree with me that that's just not something that is really, really going to happen. Only roasted bats. Wow, Patrick. Wow. Too soon? No, maybe not. Okay, don't eat bats. Yeah, okay, that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. Stay tuned for the sneak peek into next week's episode, which is going to be starting right now. Bye, Humblebees. Love y'all.
What we say is that we're just not going to collude with or try to cooperate with evil for the most part. We're not going to sit down with a guy who likes to murder children and say, okay, how can we limit this to just a couple thousand instead of...
Right.
There's just no context for that. I understand but the problem is that abolitionists get painted as people that don't want to save any babies unless they can save all of them.
Right.
And that's not the case, because there's a difference between who I might try to help individually and who ideologically I might be trying to help through legal means.
Right.
So I think abortion should be, well, I don't even think abortion should be illegal. Abortion's already illegal is what I would say.
Right, exactly.
Right. Murder, you cannot deprive anyone of life, liberty, or the pursuit of happiness here.
Yep.
At least in the United States, murder's illegal. I'd argue it's illegal everywhere.
Yep.
Because of the natural revelation from the law of God, the general revelation.
Mm.
But murder's already wrong. So now the question is not, so what we're doing is we're negotiating with terrorists and saying,
yes,
well,
I was going to say that. Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
here's how many we'll let you do,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a problem to me.
Yeah.
The pro-life movement. Now, there's a lot of people that would be pro-life that if you just sat and talked with them, they'd become abolitionists because they
Sure.
really agree with the ideology. They just don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
The second thing is for me, the most important aspect of our life is proclaiming Jesus Christ as King of Kings, Lord of Lords, Savior of sinners. And as much as I would love to stand and help babies be saved from being killed and assist with that, to me, it's always most important that I'm doing it as a Christian, battling against not flesh and blood, but the princes of the power of darkness, the spiritual forces in the